Welcome back to another arousing episode of CannaBase Radio Show. I'm your host, Johnny Chaos, and with me always is my co-host, Brian.
Yep.
And our factoter, Athena.
Hello.
On today's episode of CannaBase Radio, we talk about koalas and why they are the stoners of Australia. Our second topic of the night is Seth Rogen, right? Seth Rogen and his joint rolling skills, as well as why Brian thinks Bigfoot exists.
No. It's the time I legit thought that they had evidence of a Bigfoot, and I legit believed them, and I swear it's understandable. I will explain it later. Stick around.
My whole thought is that you want to sit here and talk about Bigfoot.
No. I don't care. I'm running into this full force right now.
We're going to talk about Bigfoot anyway.
Okay.
Alright, so let's kick off our first topic with koalas and why they're the stoners of Australia.
Damn, I just said I was going to go in on Bigfoot. Okay.
You also said you were going to tear apart koalas.
Yes.
Kind of signaled as Zets and the listeners.
Alright, so...
Animal cruelty is wrong.
I don't like the connection between a stoner with a koala because koalas are dumb as fuck. They actually show its brain. I seen a video just recently too. They show like what the brain of a koala looks like. Smooth, no dimple, no wrinkles in it like our brains. It doesn't learn much. All it really learned was how to evolve to the point where they can eat a poison leaf, and it gives them so little sustenance that they have to eat all day in between hella naps. Like they're fucking stoners.
And you think that makes most Americans any different?
No, I'm really describing a stoner right now. I do agree.
So,
but they are so stupid. The babies can't even eat the eucalyptus leaves
kind of
yet.
Vicious, though. You know what I mean? Like,
they eat shit out of their parents because they can't eat real leaves. They all have chlamydia. They have like 90% of them. You can't even touch a damn koala.
That's true. Koalas do have a lot of diseases.
They're horrible. Koalas are
many.
fucking idiots. I straight up heard that.
Damn, you guys are haters.
I heard that if you put eucalyptus leaves on a plate,
they're so cute,
that a koala wouldn't know to eat it.
Are you over there looking up pictures of koalas right now, Athena?
No, I'm actually looking up Australia animals.
Ah.
They are crazy.
Yeah.
they look cute, but they all have a way to kill you.
Yeah, Australia's
As any other
definitely.
animals.
Dude, like, I hear their spiders are fucking outrageous.
Yeah, a kangaroo can kick your ass easy.
Wallaby.
I don't know, I think I'd pay to see that boxing match.
That YouTube video was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
straight up socked it.
Yeah, because it was strangling his dog.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'd sock a kangaroo too, man. I love my animals.
Dude, there's also the jacked ones, the super ripped, cute looking like they're on roids. Have you ever heard of that one too? Mm-hmm. It's a big ass kangaroo that straight up looks like a human body.
Oh yeah, that's a
like
wallaby.
Is that a wallaby?
Right?
Wallabies I thought were small.
Yeah, look at it. Oh wait, yeah, you're right. They are. I guess they are small.
Those
ones are
stocky,
shorter.
though.
Yeah,
They just, yeah, they are. They definitely look stocky.
Yeah, there's a crazy ripped one, but fucking koalas just enjoying leaves all day. I guess it's kind of stonery.
It is what we do.
They eat, they sleep, and damn.
And they munch on edibles all day, bro. Like.
But I know stoners that are very smart and have invented things.
Yes, but not all stoners are smart.
I know, but still. Some stoners are so smart like Seth Rogen and can make cross joints.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on Seth Rogen, man. He's pretty much taken over the whole cannabis world, man. Snoop Dogg actually just said in a post that Seth Rogen is the best joint roller he's ever met.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I didn't know the best. I thought he was to like complimenting him.
The best.
Okay, that's a big thing because Snoop Dogg fucking hires people.
Yeah, no,
to roll joints and blunts for him
exactly.
at all times.
He's got a guy that works for him that's a full-time blunt roller.
Can you imagine?
He makes over, what is it? I think it was something like $400,000 a year, just rolling blunts for Snoop.
That's ridiculous, but I remember on the Cribs, when Snoop was on Cribs, right there at the front door, just a bowl of blunts. So I believe it big time.
Yeah, absolutely. He's kind of the, like I said, Mount Rushmore pick.
Mm-hmm.
He's the King
Mm-hmm.
making Seth Rogen the jester. Because he's a comedian, you know what I mean?
So, what you brought up too, because I was like, well, they only smoked a cross joint once in the movie, but yeah, you brought up the point that there's probably numerous ones, and they did the same scene a whole bunch of times, so...
Yeah, what I was reading about
Definitely.
is he rolled something like, and correct me if I'm wrong, he rolled something like 150 cross joints for the movie, and he rolled them all himself with, I think, one other person who was helping him.
And none of them had Snickle Fritz.
Yeah, right.
It was all that goody good.
Yeah, no, but he rolled most of the cross joints for the film, and people are like, yeah, but they only smoked one. But you got to think about, in a film, when they're, you know, filming everything, there's multiple takes
Yes.
of the same scene. So you got to think how many times they had to do that scene and light up that cross joint and figure everything out. Just like I read that the way that Seth Rogen envisioned Pineapple Express and the way he wrote it was supposed to be James Franco was supposed to be Dale Denton instead of Seth Rogen.
Oh,
And
Seth wanted to be the drug
was
dealer.
supposed to be Sal.
Okay.
But when they first started filming, James Franco was like, oh, hey, let's just change roles real quick and kind of see how this feels, and it just kind of took off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's cool. James Franco can definitely act, since I guess he's not legit a stoner.
Oh, no,
But-
yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. James Franco is an amazing actor.
Yeah, he's very good.
I think he's a great writer.
I bet you he had more fun as the drug
Yeah,
dealer, too.
he's decent at directing, from what I hear.
Because I can see him being a straight guy easily. Yeah, I think he probably switched it up to have more fun. And I can see Seth Rogen as a guy dating a girl in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that I'm on the same level as you. Like, it just kind of made more sense.
And you know who's...
with Seth Rogen being Dale Denton.
Yeah, it does make sense. I liked the whole thing. I like that movie a lot, too.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, especially when he was calling her and he was crying at first, and then she said something like, I love you, or something like that. And he was like, I made a mistake.
No, she was like, I want to run away with you. I want to get married. All this shit. And he was like, I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake. This is all wrong. Gotta go.
Forget what I said.
One of the big ones in that was freaking Danny McBride. I
Oh
freaking
my God,
love him.
bro.
I'm chill. I'm chill as fuck. I'm in a kimono. What are you wearing? A suit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we might have even mentioned this
Oh,
on a
man.
previous episode. At one point, maybe not. We've been high during every episode.
That's
But,
the way.
uh,
Stay lit.
But Danny McBride, man, he's a beast.
Yeah.
I'm saying he was hit in the head with a real bong during filming, and he kept going. It was
I
supposed
actually
to be,
did hear that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be breakaway,
Hmm.
like a breakaway bong, but it wasn't.
Did Franco not know?
No, there were. The way they talked about it is in the scene. There's a couple different bongs set up, and Seth grabbed the wrong one when he went to hit Red in the back of his head.
Hey,
I
man.
mean, so Danny McBride took a full-on real bong snap to the dome, dude. Like,
I mean, isn't that how Brandon Lee died? Somebody switched the prop with a reel? I mean,
Brandon
that's
Lee,
pretty drastic.
man, he got taken out, yeah, because what ended up happening was they had a prop gun with blank bullets.
Yeah.
And somebody replaced the blanks with real bullets. So when he was standing in the window and he got shot, he actually got shot. Like, they filmed him literally getting murked. You know what I mean? And
This
they still used it for the movie.
Oh, I did hear about that too. That's fucked up.
Damn.
Yeah, messed up, man. But you know,
It was a good shot.
in the wise
It's horrible.
in the wise words of the Crow, you know, it can't rain all the time. But that guy obviously has never been to the rainforest.
What? I haven't seen the movie enough to quote it. I've only seen it.
Yeah, no, it's actually a pretty good movie, man. I've watched it a few different times.
This is how stoner conversations go. Talked about stupid ass fucking koalas, turning it into the Crow, and now we got conspiracies of, is it a curse? Is that thing with the family gene. You know, is that like no? You never heard of that? People on set were trying to say that he was like cursed.
People were saying the set itself.
Then they have also heard that it was on purpose. That there's some weird
conspiracy about
tying
how
back.
like he was murdered because of something about him sleeping with like the prop guy's wife or something.
Damn, prop guy's just like, all right,
yeah,
let's
the prop
do
guy
this.
was just like, hey, fuck you, buddy. Click, click, click. Bam!
And
done.
prop guy's not even the one who pulled the trigger. That's
Dude,
clean.
right? Yeah, exactly. The other actor, the other dude who shot him in the movie was the one who actually killed him. But it was like, it was a mistaken murder. It's not like it wasn't premeditated on his part. He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, you can get that guy in trouble.
I'm pretty sure that guy like went home and smoked like the fattest blunt of his life just to kind of get those images out of his head. He's probably got bad PTSD, man.
He actually, I looked this up, he actually got out of therapy yesterday, but then he heard this podcast and now he's all coming back to it.
All right, he's like, yep, gonna get back on that marijuanas.
Hell yeah. It's the answer for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, speaking of old, fat, hairy people, what's this theory you got going on with Bigfoot, man?
Don't be putting words in my mouth. I do not believe it. Okay, in 2007,
do you disbelieve it?
Big time. There's not enough proof. I'd give a Yeti a % of a chance, just because it's always snowing and blizzardy, and you know that's the closest thing. But as far as Bigfoot being over here, all these hillbillies have the exact same stories. They're all vague and obscure, and I don't really trust any of them. The reason I thought Bigfoot was legit was this time in 2007 or 8, I think, where they were saying on the news that they had a body. So the whole thing is, they found hair that doesn't belong there. They've never seen an actual corpse of one, so
they just like found hair out in the woods and assumed,
because it's red.
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's red.
So it's close to like
Check this
orangutan.
out. I just found a picture online the other day from back in Newport News, Virginia, where I'm originally from. They found like some girl's weave like in the middle of the road. So I wonder, like, could that be Bigfoot's wife? You know what I mean?
I know you're trying to make fun of me. It's all good.
I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm making fun of the people who found hair in the woods and was like, oh, it's gotta be Bigfoot.
Right. It's
you know what I mean?
really weird, but what about a redheaded hiker or something? But
yeah, that's like coming across red hairs in your shower and being like, Bigfoot was here.
Pretty much, man. It's weird. But, okay, so once they said that they found a body or two or something, I thought it's legit. This didn't happen in California. It happened in a totally different state, and we're hearing about it like it's news. And in reality, the reason I believed it was because I didn't think that it would spread this far. If someone could just walk up to it and be like, fake, bullshit, done, story killed. And the fact that this guy is trying to charge people to come and see these bodies and everything, I was like, they actually have real fucking evidence. Immediately found out it was just a really good suit from a movie. But I was like, it should never have gotten this far. Why are people talking about, like, everybody just, dumbass try to fucking fool people.
Dude, it's
out.
like the guy
it was
back
in a different
the day
state.
who took a picture of a log in a lake in Scotland and was all, oh my god, there's a Loch Ness monster.
He also admitted on his deathbed, he was admitting it for a long time, like, no, I did it, I faked it. Nobody wants to believe him. Yeah, they all want to just keep going with it.
I will say this, though. Busch Gardens, they built a roller coaster way back in the day. I may have been like 8 or 9. You know what I mean? But they built a roller coaster and they called it the Loch Ness Monster.
Mm-hmm.
And it weaved in and out of the water and shit. Like it had tunnels under the water and it was so dope.
That's
dude.
really cool.
Bro, it was painted black and yellow and it was one of my all-time favorite roller coasters, man. Like,
yeah, that sounds tight.
Yeah, it had
I like the water aspect.
Like in the tunnels under the water, dude, there were like spiral fucking loops and shit, and I loved it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Loved it till I saw Final Destination, the one where they were at the amusement park, and then the roller coaster fucked up and everybody died, then I was like, fuck roller coasters, man. But I still love them. You know what I mean?
I love roller coasters.
I would go to Six
too.
Flags, ride roller coasters, shit like that. You know what I mean?
All right. So, if you guys didn't know, in between every show so far, we've been taking smoke breaks in between. So this is the second part of it, and we want to say thank you to everybody who's been interacting with us on our Facebook page, the CannaBase Radio Show. It's the Smoke Circle group, and what we asked you guys was to give us some ideas for fact or baked. It's a new little subject, or a little what? Segment. Thank you. I told you we just did dabs, man. Like we just smoked. So we're gonna start doing.
Gotta be on one, bro. Gotta be on it.
Stay lit. So we're gonna be doing this little segment every now and then. So one of the questions that we were asked, fact or baked, holding in your hit gets you higher.
You know what? As an avid cannabis user, I actually do believe that holding in your hit gets you higher because, you know, I really have a hard time getting high because I do have such a high tolerance, but my highs don't last very long no matter what I'm smoking or anything like that. But if I do hold in the hit for about a minute or so, you know, after I take it, I do feel like I've gotten higher because you got to think about it. Logically, there's a lack of oxygen. Your lungs are full of smoke. You know what I mean? The longer you hold it in, the more your lungs absorb, the more THC you're getting, so the higher you're going to get. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say baked. I don't think that that's a fact. I have a feeling it's more like what you were saying with the oxygen or cutoff or whatever. I feel like that's more of an aspect. Otherwise, I've heard that you're actually just doing more damage to your lungs.
So you don't think holding it in gets you higher, you just think it fucks you up more?
Physically, I think that it does mess up your lungs, yeah. And that if anything, it's kind of like just holding your breath for a second and then feeling lightheaded. On top of
I
you have
can
the
kind
weed.
of agree with that, but there are actual studies out there, man, that I've read from like Oxford University and things like that, stating that cannabis actually helps regenerate cells within the lungs, which is what helps with lung cancer and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's why lung cancer users, or you know, people with lung cancer use marijuana because it actually helps them. You
That's
know what
cool.
I mean? It's like if you have a brain tumor or something like that, you could use RSO oil to, you know, shrink the size of the tumor to get rid of the cancer.
I still don't think it's like you holding this hit means I'm getting more regenerating cells in my lungs healing.
I don't think
it balances.
I don't think your cells regenerate like that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is it potentially helps more than it harms.
Yeah, it could be doing a lot worse. Like,
yeah,
I see what
especially
your point is.
since cannabis, you know, it's all naturally grown. It's from the earth. It's not cut with other chemicals except for these dumbass people or
I know, the only thing is
CIA that's, you know, letting out cannabis around the world that's cut with fentanyl and stupid shit like that, or rat poison. You know what I mean?
The only thing is it's still smoke, though. You're still inhaling some smoke.
No, I agree. No matter what smoke you take into your lungs, all smoke is bad.
That doesn't sound too good.
No matter what. Yeah, no matter what. But it is a quicker delivery system.
Yeah.
You know, for versus eating edibles and how long that takes and everything.
That was a good topic. I'm glad that...
No, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Let's check this one out for Fact or Baked. What do you think, secondhand smoke will make you fail a drug test? Fact or baked?
I'm going to go ahead and just say that is a fact. But I'm thinking like the extreme conditions of like, if you're in a car with somebody who's smoking a joint and then you go immediately
so, like,
into
under
it.
circumstance.
Yeah.
If you're in close proximity
Yeah.
to somebody who's smoking. So, like...
If you're at a whole house party and one person has a blunt in a backyard and you're
okay,
in the...
well, I mean, if you're at a house
won't.
party, and somebody shows up with, like, a leaf blower with a bucket attached to it just full of weed, and they got a fucking blowtorch, and they're in the living room just fucking smoking everybody out, yeah, you're getting fucking high, you're popping on a drug test.
That's a definite.
No matter what, that's happening.
But I feel like maybe not pass or fail a drug test, but at least show traces of it secondhand in most average
Yeah, you think they'd have
scenarios.
A test that's good enough to be able to come across and find that kind of information. versus what I think like somebody sitting across a big room from somebody, and the other person across the room is smoking a blunt. You know, I don't think that amount of smoke would affect the other person in the room.
And also, how long until they go for their test? Do the test too.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go and guess maybe like 24 hours.
I don't think it would show up after that long.
You don't think so?
I don't. I'm just guessing. Yeah, I feel like if you're at a house party getting secondhand smoke, you're probably not going to go there and do like a test immediately, you know, in the middle of the night. By the time you wake up in the morning, I would assume it's out.
Yeah.
Because it's just secondhand.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a good one. Also, I think I've seen, I don't know if it's like Kickstarters or whatever, or if it's a real thing, that they have basically like a breathalyzer to see how much THC is in you now.
You know
is
what?
that
Yeah,
fact or baked?
You know what?
On
That's
the fly.
It's actually a fact.
That was a real thing.
They have come out with marijuana breathalyzers that can tell how long since you've last smoked, and it can read your blood content level for THC. I'm not sure how it works. I haven't done much reading on it. I think it's a terrible idea because everybody in the world drives high. Like, they're gonna arrest so many fucking people. You know what I mean? So it's, I just think having a weed breathalyzer is kind of pointless. You know what I mean? People who smoke marijuana should know, hey, don't smoke and drive. Just like, hey, don't fucking drink and drive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That was always for me when they were talking about legalizing weed. I always said put an age limit on it, and the medical industry had it right where you can't operate heavy machinery.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Don't be driving a car, forklift, or nothing if you're going to be blown.
Absolutely.
But
just
everyone does drive when they're high.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I
don't
drove
know one
smoking.
Yeah,
Everyone.
I used to sit in my driver's seat driving 80 down the highway with my little silicone dab rig, man, and my torch, and I'd be sitting there in the driver's seat just doing my thing, fucking taking dabs, going 80 down the highway in a manual transmission Eclipse.
It's even worse because you have the torch locked, so if you did drop it or hit something,
everything just up in flames, everything gone.
You would not have enough time to stop it. Man, this is a fun one though. But yeah, everybody, the CannaBase Radio Show, Smoke Circle, it's on Facebook. Go ahead and join up. See if there's any kind of questions that we come up with. See if you guys can give us some input, because it's really fun. This way we don't always have to keep thinking of what you guys want to hear. We can actually answer what you guys want to be referring to. So for our next episode, we're actually going to have our first time guest. It's Caesar with Dank Family Apparel. And we're going to talk to him about a couple of topics. He's going to explain to us something about why if you have a medical weed card, there's still benefits even though weed is legal. But we're going to see what he thinks, kind of pick his brain. And yeah, it'll be our next episode. So we're going to wrap things up right now.
So from all of us here at CannaBase, man, stay tuned for our next